fish lived on land, which country would they live in? Finland. My name's Aaron Cook, and I'm going to explain the types of fishing lures and how fishing lures are made. So, I don't have a lot of experience in actually making fishing lures, but I've been interested in learning, so I've done some research on it. My main points today will be types of lures and then tying flies. So we shall start with the types of lures. There's a lot of types of lures, so I'm just going to go over a few. We'll be here all day. So you have your jigs, which this is kind of a jig here. They're just small for like crappie and bass and stuff. Then you have poppers. I have one of those here. You have your spoons and your plugs, your plastic bait, which this would be considered plastic bait, or this fish here. And then you have surface lures, which kind of ride on top of the surface of water. And for saltwater fish, it's pretty much the same thing, except they use more kind of cut bait, stuff like that. Now that we've looked at some lures, let's move to tying flies. Tying flies is the most common type of lure making. So that's what we'll look at. The fly that I'm going to talk about today is the Taylor Dragonfly. First you'll have to gather your materials, and I sent my brother to Walmart to get them, but he forgot, so I don't have all the material. But you'll need hooks to start with. You'll need some feathers. Where I got my information, they suggested that you use pheasant's tail feathers. You will need some chenille, string and thread, and then some grizzly hackle, which is some more small feathers. You'll also need tools. You'll need scissors. You'll need your fly tying vise, and you'll need a pair of pliers for this job. So now we'll start with the assembly process. You want to place your hook in the vise, and you just clamp it in, and then you want to tie some string to the hook so that it's ready to start tying your feathers on. Then you want to take some of your pheasant's tail feathers, and you'll clip out just some fibers, and you'll set those on the hook, about the 2/3 or so of the hook, so they just pass over the curve here on the hook. And you'll tie them on with your string. And after you get those tied on, you'll take some of your chenille, and you'll wrap it around the hook on the shaft there, and you'll tie it down with some thread. And after you have tied it down, you'll want to take some of your thread and make a football-shaped pattern up here on the shaft of the hook to kind of create the underbody of your dragonfly. And that needs to be pretty bulky and stuff, because the dragonfly is kind of bulky. After you've got it made, you'll want to wrap it with string to hold it all in place, and then wrap it. After you wrap it with string, you want to cover it with some chenille again. And then after you've done that, you want to take some of your small grizzly hackle feathers, and you'll place them on the shaft here of your hook, and you'll create, by tipping them towards the back of the hook, you'll create the legs and stuff. And you'll tie those on with your string also. And then you want to take some more of your chenille, and you place it on top of all of this to create the wing case and the wings. And then you'll tie some knots on top of that to create the head, and then you use some head cement to hold the knots in place and to make the head. And when you're there, you've created a dragonfly. So now that we have talked about the types of fishing lures and tying flies, I'm going to conclude. I hope